So as I mentioned earlier this morning, I'm very excited to be able to share our guest speaker with you guys today. I was fortunate enough to get to experience Frank's speaking presentation last summer when I attended a conference in Colorado for their School Nutrition Association. It was very impactful, and I hope that you all feel the same way after today. So, the message of today's speaker is as memorable as his last name. Audiences around the world have experienced his fresh recipes for performance improvement. He savors the opportunity to work with organizations who want to fire up the performance of their teams. His flavorful stories of success and failure as a student leader, toy store manager, educator, auctioneer, volunteer, and business owner have inspired individuals and teams to flip their mindset and cook up the results that they hunger for. We're speaking our language here. This proud husband and father has been recognized as one of the top professional speakers in the world. His goal today, to provide you with a tasty learning experience that will entice you to laugh, learn, and take action. Please put your hands together and help welcome Mr. Frank C. Kitchen.
All right. All right. So I've got a big voice too, so I'm going to stay away from the microphone because I want to have a little fun this morning. Do you want to have a little fun this morning? Yeah. All right. So this side of the room does want to have fun. This side of the room still trying to wake up. All right. So what we're going to do is I need to make sure that everybody is awake and they want to have fun. So what's one of the things that we do to have fun? Anybody? Give me some answers here.
Play games.
We play games, right? Yes. What's your name?
Lena.
Lena knows where this is going. She goes, we play games, not those types of games, because we know there's certain games we want to play and certain games we don't want to play. But what I want to find out is I want to find out if you're awake. I've been watching you eat the food and the snacks. There's some coffee back there, some caffeine. I don't know if I saw caffeine on the list as far as like food we need to give the kids, because I think they're already caffeinated enough. But what we need to find out is I need to find out, are you ready for this program? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some games on the screen. And I need you to yell out what that game is. Okay, so I got to make sure you're awake. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at the screen right now. What is this game? Thumb war, thumb wrestling. That works. This one? Oh, we're starting to wake up on the left side. Anybody? Oh, how do you spell it? Somebody said with some pride there. He plays. All right, this one. The answer is on the screen. Yes. What about this one? What is the correct answer?
What is Jeopardy?
Thank you. This one.
Solitary.
What about this one? Okay, he said Roblox. This group said Minecraft. They've got kids. What about this one? How about this? How about this one? How about this one? Oh. How about this one? I like it. The people go 2600. They know exactly what it was. How about this? Yeah, the game that never ends. And all of you should have the answer for this one. What's this one? Yeah. Now I got some people going, Frank, that's not a game. That means you never played with it, right? That thing is a game. And if you ever go to like the stores, it's stored right next to the games in the toy section. But what's the one thing they tell us about playing in games? That, you know, we shouldn't be playing games. We're wasting time. It's not energy, right? It's like, I'm here to change your minds today. Because throughout my career, I've told people it's okay to play. We can learn a lot from games. Games are visual learning exercises. And humans, we are visual and tactile learners. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be playing some games and learning how we can improve as not only employees, supervisors, leaders, but I want you to take the information you get today and take it back to your schools, your location, central office, to make sure that we can have a great school year. Does that sound good to you? All right. Now first, I got to answer a question that many of you are thinking right now. You're like, is that really his name? Yes. My name is Frank Cornelius Kitchen. The reason I show this to you right now is I tell people this is proof to me that my mom is evil. I mean, I got named after a room in the house. And after years of therapy, thinking that my mom was playing games on me, I'm here in front of you today. Because I've learned that, you know what? It's a crazy name, but I tell people, it's like, hey, you know what? It's a great name because everybody's got a room named after me. But what we're going to do today, everybody, is we're going to have some kitchen-inspired fun. Because for all of you, you understand this. You work with food, you work with people, you're making sure that these kids are fed properly and they can perform good in the classroom. But who takes care of you? So we're going to talk about what we can do to take care of ourselves and the people that we work with, not including just the parents, the kids, but also our staffs and our teams. And to do that today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you what I've used through my career. Now, it looks like, man, you've worked all those places, it looks like you just can't hold a job. But what happened was I told people whether I was working at these places or volunteering, every place that I've worked, I've been put into a position where I had to help train or improve people's performance. And I really loved it. And at one point, I was doing so well that I was working at a college, and my students came to me and go, hey, Frank, you challenge us to live our dreams. What are you doing to live yours? And they actually signed me up to become a professional speaker almost 18 years ago. So now, instead of just doing it in one location, I'm going out doing trainings all over. So I want to share with you a couple of the top training techniques that I've been using over the years to make sure that my teams can perform at the highest level. And we're going to be doing it today by having some fun training people. Now, if you look at the screen right now, there's a comment on there that says, Frank, you're training people too much. Anybody remember KB Toys way back in the day? The toy store malls? Yeah, I'm dating myself right now. I was a manager and a trainer. And I had the corporate office talk to me. They called me and go, Frank. I'm like, yeah. They go, you're training your people too much. I'm like, what do you mean I'm training my people too much? They're like, yeah. I was like, you're training too much. We're watching this. You're having monthly meetings. I'm like, yeah. It's like, isn't that great? They go, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? They go, it's too much. I'm like, what's too much? What do you normally have? They go, we normally have 2 trainings per year. So I'm like, 2 trainings per year? Like, yeah, because it was coming out of my payroll to go have these trainings. I'm like, but I cared about the employees. So I go, well, here's the deal. When we stop hitting goal or stop beating goal or beating like the things that you set for us as far as limits and goal, then I will stop doing trainings. We never went below goal. It was showing that as long as we're training people every day, every time, every opportunity, not only do we show we care about those people, but we're helping elevate those people and hitting our performance needs. Now, what we're going to be doing today is I like to call the mindset flipping exercises. Sounds kind of funny, right? You got this guy named Kitchen telling you we're going to be doing mindset flipping exercises. Does anybody know what that means?
You're in the right spot.
You're in the right spot? You should see the rest of the room right now. They're like, where's this going? They're like, we're going to go home today and say, we had this guy named Kitchen teach us mindset flipping exercises. People are like, why are you working there? Mindset flipping exercises, everybody, is just a fancy way of saying games. Because I've said, hey, who wants to come to a training today? How many hands will go up? I go, who wants to play games? How many hands go up? Who wants to win some prizes? How many hands go? Oh, I have just flipped your mindset based off of the words that I use. So for me, I always use games to train my employees and my teams, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Because they said, when we train through hands-on learning, gamification, then guess what? There's a 97.5% retention rate versus read the manual, look at the bullet prints. I don't want to knock HR, but hey, HR, we've got to get better with our trainings, right? I mean, many of you work in food service, and do we just say, hey, go read the book and then go start to cook? We have to get hands-on, right? We have to see how it happens. Experiential learning. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, with any games, we have rules. So rule number 1 today is have fun. Can you have fun? Yeah, okay. Because we know in a few days, guess what? It's going to be hard to have fun, right? Okay, so that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is I want you to meet some new people. Can we meet some new people today? Yes. Yeah, because I know all of you walked in here and you kind of sat with the people that you know, your work buddies, right? Your battle buddies. But guess what? There's going to be certain days where something's going to happen at your location, and you may have to call another spot in the district to ask them how they deal with that problem. So meet some new people. Make some connections today. And the next one, no. Where are my parents in the room? You know, we get used to saying this word all the time, right? Where are my supervisors? Yeah, you say this word a lot too. But what we're going to do is I'm going to see the camera right here. I've got Jen. Give Jen a big round of applause right here in the middle of the room. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to split the room in half. Many of you will understand this. So everybody on this side of the room, when I point to you, I want you to say the word law, L-A-W, as loud as possible, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Law. Okay, we're a little weak. Now I'm going to come back over to this side. This side, you're a lot louder. When I point to you, you're going to say the word suit as loud as possible, louder than them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Suit. Law. Suit. Law. Suit. Law. We're going to meet some new people today. We're going to have some fun, but there's going to be no lawsuits. I have worked in food service. I've had the health inspector come in, and guess what? You never want that lawsuit because we got the wrong temperature, things aren't clean. And they always come in to check to see if you got those fingerprints on the stainless steel. What's up with that? right? So no lawsuits today. Where are my competitive people in the room? You will kick, bite, and scream just to win a prize. That rule is for you, okay? We're going to have some fun today. There are going to be some prizes involved, but we don't have to kill anybody to do it. I've been doing this for 18 years, and I have not killed anybody yet, so let's keep the streak going. So let's have some fun, everybody. And also, I'm going to let you know, this program is a little bit different. I understand that there's different learning styles in the room. I got my old school people. You're going to want to write notes today, right? So if I'm going too fast, say, hey, Frank, slow down, and you can write your notes. Then I got my new school people. You got your phones out. If you want to take pictures of the slide, go ahead and do it. So if you need some notes that way, take pictures. Then I got my creative people. The world likes to call you lazy. I call you creative. You're going to find new and unique ways to get that knowledge. We are recording this program, so if you need the recording to watch for yourself or share with your team, we'll have the recording for you. But I will also put a QR code up at the end that will have all the notes from the program. Does that sound good to you? Yeah. All right, so let's just go ahead and have some fun. It is okay to play. And when we do games, guess what? Any type of game always starts with a piece of a coin toss, right? That's how we start games off. So what we're going to be doing is every time you see that little spatula on the screen, that means we're about to start doing a game, or we call it a what? Mindset flipping exercise. So with our first activity, it's called heads or tails. I got this very big coin right here. Now on the front of the coin it says Frank Kitchen, because I'm vain. And on the back it says Live Fresh. We'll explain that on the back end of the program. Now what I'm going to ask right now before we start is, if you would like to win a prize, please stand up. I had one person. There we go. Most of you are going, serious. Most people are going like, is he going to bite? Is he going to attack us? What's going to happen? Other people are going, hands up if it's true, what's the prize? Okay, so understanding, watching how people are hanging out in the back there, I've got some friends who made some donations to me. I've got the Summer Fun Pack. It's 4 reusable Starbucks cups with the straws. Ooh. But watch, this is when people really start to stand up. And inside, I've got $10 worth, so that means half a cup, of Starbucks gift cards. So if you would like to win this, please stand up. Wow. Lindsay, we're going to have some issues today. Okay, watch this. We're going to have... I'm going to let you see how everybody jumps back in. She's like, I want more. You want more? Yeah. Always. Well, here's how it works out, everybody. For our brave guinea pigs, sacrificial lambs who jumped into this, what I'm going to do is, this coin's going to be flipped into the air. And when it goes up into the air, they have to make a choice. They have to guess. Is it going to land on heads or tails? Now, if they think it's going to land on heads, they will put their hands on their heads. Okay? Now, when I flip it in the air, if they think it's going to land on tails, of which luckily they're spread out in the room, they will put their hands, I know some of you are close, their hands on their tail. I'll say it slowly again, their hands on their tail, no one else's. Now, if they get the answer right, they stay in the game. If they get the answer wrong, then they are out. For all the people who are watching right now, you can yell out answers, you can participate, you can be the audience to help out. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice just to make sure people understand and to make it a little more fun. I brought my assistant today. I brought my son Elijah, so he's going to come up here because he's like, Dad, can I do it? So I'm like, sure. So he's going to do the coin flipping. Thank you. Big round of applause for Elijah. Hold on. You got to face the audience, and you got to go ahead and let them know. So go ahead and throw it up in the air. Let them know. Okay, pick heads or tails. What is it?
Tails.
All right. Now, obviously you hang out with a lot of youth because audience, what did we say that was? That was what? Practice, so you don't have to sit down. Okay. Now, at this point, if you would like to jump in, now that you see how it works and nobody died, you can go ahead and join. Anybody else want to join in right now? Okay, we got a few more people jumping in. There we go. Now, once again, when it goes up in the air, if you want to yell, oh, now we've got some people. The brave souls are jumping in. All right. So, Elijah, you tell them when they're ready, big voice, and let them know they got to pick heads or tails.
And I'm going to flip it.
Okay, he's going to flip it. Oh, no, up. Don't go out. That's going to be a lawsuit, okay? Okay, ready? Let's go. Heads. Oh. Okay, so we're down. All right, we lost a lot of people. All right. Okay, Elijah, let's give us another one. Go really high. Up in the air, heads or tails? Tails. Oh. We are down, Elijah, to the final three. Now, I don't know if this is visual proof that the ladies make better decisions than the men. But what we're going to do right now is we got to make sure that we make this fair. So what is your name, please? Okay, we got Cassie over here. Cassie, you're not in trouble, but I'm going to have you look at the yin-yang sign. So can you just kind of turn your body that way? Thank you so much. Okay, your name is? Ashley. Ashley, you're not in trouble, but you got to stare at that wall. Oh, what's your name? Lindsay. Oh, Lindsay. Okay, and Lindsay, I'm going to have you face this way. Now, what we're going to do is, before Elijah flips the coin this time, ladies, you have to make your choice before the coin goes in the air. Now, you can't look over your shoulders to see what's going on, so go ahead and make your choice right now, please. Okay, make your choice. Don't yell the answer out. Now, audience, should they stay or change? Stay. Wow, okay, they said stay. All right, so Elijah, go ahead and flip the coin. Let's find out what happens right now. And?
Tails.
Tails. We're down to our final two. Okay, Ashley, Lindsay, are you ready? Keep looking those ways. Okay, pick your choice right now, ladies. Stay or change?
Stay.
Wow, peer pressure. Okay, Elijah, let's go. Let's see if we have a winner. Up in the air and?
Hey.
Oh. Hold on. They just said rig. Now, Ashley, I'm sorry. We didn't win, but we do have a parting prize. We have a sticker. Yeah. Oh, did you just throw it? I got another sticker. He's a little excited. Now, I could give this to Lindsay, or she could show what an amazing leader she is, and we can put this back in for something later in the program. Okay, so we're going to put this up later in the program. Sounds good to you? All right. So, Elijah, thank you so much. Go ahead and have a seat. Big round of applause for Elijah. Now, question, just by a show of hands, how many of you here have ever done either an icebreaker or team building? You've either done it or been a part of it. Hands up. How did you feel? Nah, right? They're like, hey, we're going to be energized. Let's go. You're like, yeah, can I just get back to work? Here's what we have to do, everybody. It's one thing to do the icebreaker, the energizer, or as we call these mindset flipping exercises. But the reason people don't enjoy them or don't like them is we do them without explaining why we do it. When we have a game and people watch people playing a game, we come over and go, what's this about? And we make time to explain to people what's going on. Then we also have a debrief in the game, so when we're not understanding what's going on, we say, okay, here's what happened. Here's what we could have learned. And then we have conversation that goes back and forth. For all of you, whenever you are a part of an activity like this, whenever you are leading an activity like this, the most important pieces for the learning is the debrief. Because learning is individualized, and it's not me telling you what you should learn. It's a case to open it up to find out what you learned from this activity. So I'm going to find out right now from all of you who are watching or participating, what do you think we should have learned from this mindset flipping exercise? Anybody? We all came together as a group. Great answer. What's your name? Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Anyone else?
Decisive decision making.
Decisive decision making. I love that one. Linda, right?
Lena.
Lena. Okay, so I got Lena. I'm going to learn the names. Okay. Anyone else? Participation. We got to get people to participate. Have fun. 50-50 chance of winning. None of those answers are wrong. You know why? That's what these people learned. What I'd like to share with you right now is, and you heard some of these answers, I was like, you must participate to win. As we go into the school year right now, we want our staff to participate, our team to participate, we want the students to participate and actually eat the food, right? We have to start thinking, what are we doing to get people to participate? We're going to talk about it several times today. I want you to have this game mindset. Because when we're playing a game, we have one of those adult get-togethers. You know what we're talking about. 5:01 on Friday. 4:01 on Tuesday. Some of you are like book club, safety meeting, Bible study. People are like, man, kids are like, you guys have a lot of safety meetings. Well, there's a lot of stuff we have to deal with, right? But you find ways to get people to participate and bond together. When we have a game, we start to ask questions and figure who people are out, find out, it's like, have you ever played this before? Nope, come on over, we'll teach you how it works. So I'm going to ask you the question right now. You are smart people, you are experienced people. With our teams, our staff, the students, throw some ideas out to me right now. What can we do to get people to participate? Because I offered a prize. Some of you took it, some of you didn't. So that proves that some people are motivated that way, some people aren't. Anybody, what's working at your schools right now to get the kids or the students or the staff to participate? Anybody, throw some ideas out. How can we learn together? Yes?
The way that I do it is I go and talk to the students and talk about the delicious food that we make, and then encourage them to come and eat lunch. So it's been working for me, and then it's been increasing also.
Awesome. What's your name?
Ilse.
Isa. Can anybody give her a big round of applause? Essentially, just like any game, she's inviting people over. Anybody had that game? It's like, I don't know how it works, but everybody looks like they're having fun, and the person goes, oh, come on over. And you're like, okay. So she's given an invitation. She starts to talk with people, interact with them to find out. And during that invitation, she gets to talk and find out what they really want, right? And then we just make sure it meets all the FDA and USDA guidelines. I got to go speak to the USDA in about a week, so it's got to be funny. I'm like, hey, guess what? I've been speaking to all these schools, and yet guess what? Every August, you drive them crazy because all those new guidelines come out. Anybody else? What can we do to get people to participate? Yes, your name?
I play music.
You play music. Yes, music is amazing. I'm not sure if you've seen this program, but I've got something for you here in a second. What's your name? Sylvia. Okay. Sylvia? Okay. Me llamo Francisco Cocina Upaco. Anybody else? Money. Yeah. 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 We like money, right? There's ways, like, you know, I tried to offer people like, Frank, just put cash in there next time, not Starbucks cards. But the thing is, we were laughing when we said money, and we're going to share this later. People are either extrinsically or intrinsically motivated. My son, you know why he likes to come into the events with me? One is he's like, okay, I'm going to get fed, get to stay at the hotel. And many times if I sell books at the event, he'll go sell the books. He's like, hey, Dad, do I get paid? I'm like, yeah. I was like, $20 a session. He's like, $20 a book? I'm like, no, not a book. I was like, Dad will be broke. But you have to find out what people's motivators are to get them to participate. So start to think about that. Type it in your phone, write it down. What are you doing when you go back to get people to participate? So are you ready for our next exercise? Some people are like, yeah. Okay, let's go to our next one. Sylvia, you talked about music. I'm going to let you know right now, there are studies. There's one study that says that people are 20% more productive when they listen to music, even if it's music they don't like. So the case is, we talk about giving people caffeine and getting them all juiced up on sugar. Just play a little bit of music. It helps us improve our ability. So for the rest of the morning, I'm going to be playing music with the activities. When I start the music, you start the activity. When I stop the music, you face forward again, okay? So think about the music. So we're going to have some music going on, and you can tell Elijah's got a little bit of personality. So here's our next activity. I don't know if you have something to write on, so if you can please pull out something to write on right now. If you don't, please pull out your phone. There's an app for that. You can probably go into your notes section or anything like that, and you can actually draw on the screen. But we're going to be doing a little activity. I've been doing this for over 30 years. Learned this with one of my staff about 30 years ago. It is called the pig test. Now, some of you are going, pig test, what is this? Here's how this activity works. I'm going to give you about a minute, and you are going to draw a pig on the piece of paper or your screen. Now, I've got some people going, what? Frank, this is not art. That's not what we specialize in. Well, I am a former educator, and I understand that we always have to give people or provide people with a syllabus. So, for those of you who don't know how to draw a pig, there you go. Now, some of you may say, hey, you know what? I just found out that we don't have to have the protein on the menu as long as we have 3 food groups. So if you don't want to draw a pig, draw something to remind you of a pig. Okay, so you can have some fun with it. You want to draw a panda bear? Draw a panda bear. It's all up to you. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to play some music, and you're going to draw a pig anywhere on the screen or the piece of paper. So get ready. You're giving me that look. You're like, what? So on your screen or a piece of paper, all you have to do is just draw a pig or anything that reminds you of a pig. It's all up to you. Just draw it any way that you want. Okay? So get ready, get set, let's go. Okay, give you about about a minute. Just go ahead and draw the pig. I like how everybody's looking at the screen right now.
And some people started already.
Yep. Yep. Throw people under the bus, Elijah. Go for it. See? You got to be able to walk out of here. They know where you live. Okay, you got about 30 seconds. You're drawing a pig. I got some people laughing. They're like looking over each other's shoulders. I got some people helping each other right now. All right, give you about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where are my self-admitted overachievers? Okay, so for my overachievers, you're still drawing right now. I'm going to do something that's, in my world, professional term, it's called stalling. So what we're going to do is, while you're still drawing, I'm going to go ahead and show some people some ideas of what they could have drawn. So you could have drawn this. You could have drawn this for my money group over here. See, I'm thinking about you. We could have drawn this. People are like, that's a warthog. No, if you've watched the movie, it goes, call me Mr. Pig. Okay, what about this one? Hold on for a second. I love when I show this slide. For all the people right now who are looking and giggling right now, because you're like, go ahead and give your best Peppa Pig impersonation right now. George! Because you know you're thinking about that one. How about this? I told you you could have drawn anything. How many people are getting close to just retirement and like, hey, I'm done. I've served my time. I'm going to ride off on my hog, right? How about this one? That's an Arizona pig. Here's the case, everybody. There's no rules. There's no limits. This test you just took, it's all about you. I just gave all of you a personality test. When we talk about mindset flipping exercise, if I said, hey, let's take a personality test, you would get up, walk out the door. It's like, why did I come here today? I said, draw a pig. My son sold you out. He goes, they started drawing already, Dad. They get their phones out, and they're like Googling pig. I didn't even offer a prize. You just started drawing. So what's going to happen is, everybody, based off of how you drew this pig, you're about to learn a little something about yourself. Now, for the people who want to like debate me and it's like, hey, that's not 100% accurate, no personality test is ever 100% accurate. It's based off of that moment in time. So how you're feeling today and what's going on today. But I'm going to let you know, this test is going to be pretty close. So check out your pigs right now. Let's find out why we took this. Let's find out the answers. So first part, where is the pig on the piece of paper or your screen? If it's at the top of the page, top of the screen, then guess what? You're a positive and optimistic person. You're just having a great day. Mm-hmm. Yay! The high five is like, I'm positive. It's better than the alternative. Okay. Now, if the pig's not at the top of the page, it might be in the middle. If it's in the middle, you're just a realist. That's just how things are. You like to say the word because. Why do we do that? Because Lindsay told me. And then now, I worry about some of the people right now. If the pig is at the bottom of the page, then guess what? We got to watch you. You're a little suspicious, you're a little cautious, and you got a tendency to behave negatively. Oh, people are like, but Frank, pigs hang out in the mud. Now I got some people like, well, Frank, I want to change things. I'm like, so guess what? You can flip it right now. Now your pig's at the top of the page. Now, unfortunately, your pig is upside down and dead, but you're positive about it. Okay, shall we go a little bit deeper? Yeah, should we find out some more? Sure. Okay, thank you so much for saying sure. Okay. She said sure, but she's like, I don't know. It's like sure, but like this. Okay. Oh, you said it. Okay. She's smiling. She's like, yes. She's like, no, I don't want to go any deeper. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Does the pig's face go to the left? If it goes left, then guess what? You're friendly and you have an easy time remembering dates. You can remember all the important times. You got here early today. You beat the traffic. You got the good parking spaces. Yeah. I got a lot of people laughing going, Then if your face is going to the right, then guess what? You're creative, you're active. You have a hard time remembering the important dates because there's just too much on your brain. And now, it's funny. I've got some people laughing and they're showing their pigs back and forth, but I got a lot of people staring right at me. They're like asking questions like, this ain't right. Then guess what? Then your pig probably looks like this. If your pig is looking directly at you, then guess what? You're direct. You neither fear or avoid discussions. You enjoy playing devil's advocate. You ask lots of questions. You need to know why we are doing this. And then for those of you who are having a really tough day, if we're looking at the posterior of the pig, Lindsay and I will meet you outside in the courtyard and we will help you. Okay, now we're having some fun. The fun thing about games is, everybody, it allows us to break through our mental barriers. It allows us to open ourselves up. Because many times the training is like, tell me what you are, who you are, where you're from, what's your 5 to 10 year plan, right? That puts up a barrier. But games allow us to show our true selves. Have you had those points where you've played activities and games and you have that person who's quiet at work, but then all of a sudden a karaoke machine breaks out? And you have those activities like, whoa, where'd that come from? We know those people, right? Because the games and the activities allow us to show our true selves. Let's go a little bit deeper. Do you have lots of details in the picture? You got lots of details, and guess what? You're organized, methodical, and guess what? You have a difficult time trusting people because they just don't do things the right way. They don't put things in the right spot. They don't have things the right temperature, right? Let me find my old school people here. Anybody remember the old days of the canned cheese where you had to crank the can opener to open it, and then you had to put it under the pump, that thing at the ball bearings, and you had to put the cheese in there for the nachos, and then the people didn't clean it the night before? I guess I'm having therapy right now. And that thing is like cement the next day. And then you put that sign up on there going, clean it the night before, please. That was me. Because guess what? I had a difficult time dealing with these people right here. Do you not have a lot of details? Then guess what? You might be a little gullible and naive. You take, lots of risks. You are our risk taker. You just don't care for the details. We don't need to go through that training right now. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know how to go. I cook at home. My kids are still alive. 3 proteins and 3, no. Let's go a little bit deeper. How many legs does a pig have? 4. So if your pig's got 4 legs, and guess what? You're stubborn, secure, you stick to your ideals. Pigs have 4 legs. Yay. Now I got some people whose heads went down. Who just has a big floating head? I may need to change this slide and say, guess what? If your pig doesn't have all 4 legs, you work in food service. But you care a little for the details. You tend to be a little emotional, and you are a risk taker. My pig doesn't need 4 legs. It can walk on 3. How about this one? Lindsay, look around the room right now. They might see the heads go down. How big are the ears on your pig? The bigger the ears, the better listener you are. Oh. Now watch this one. How many people have really big ears on their pig? Where are the people with the big ears? Okay, Lena, how many people come and talk to you all the time? You're a good listener. They come to your room, they come to you like, hey, you have a minute? And she knows a minute means 10 minutes. You have a second? That's an hour. Hey, what happened was, okay, that's all day. And we've got all those parts about the pig, everybody, but what's the last thing that we need to add? The tail. Yeah, let's go ahead and go there. The length of the tail tells the quality of your relationships. The bigger, the longer, the better. Now, I'll let you describe relationships or define it, but generally the people with the long, curly tails around, they enjoy building and developing relationships with people, or they've got people in their life that they have long-term relationships with. Friends, family, significant others. Yeah, and over here, guess what? The tail went all the way around. I had a university years ago, and they had about 500 people in the room, and all of a sudden about, halfway to the back of the room, the seas parted. I'm like, what's happening back there? And the lady goes up, she goes, I've been married 46 years. And the tail went all the way around the test. But here's the case, everybody. In about 5 minutes, quite simply by playing a game, we've got some laughter going on. We've got some connections. People are showing what's going on. And we're starting to break down exactly who we are. Because when we play games, we have a time to understand who the people are, understand why they're here, what they're about, what they're good at. I mean, we just drew these pigs right now. What did you learn? Anybody? What did you learn? Because Plato says we can learn more about a person in an hour of play than a year of conversation. Because we show our true sides. So my question is, do you know your players? And the question as it has on the slide right now is like, what are you doing to understand the people you play and work with? So anybody right now, what are you doing to understand your teammates and the players? Anybody, what are you doing that works really good? Okay, he said he's talking. Okay, so we're talking every day. What's your name, sir? Albert. So Albert, when you said talking, what are you talking about every day? Everything. Just having that conversation, not about work, right? But just about everything. Making them feel special and amazing. Anybody else? Thank you, Albert. Listen. Who said listen? Your name, please? Jackie again. Yes. So Jackie said listen, because some people say, hey, it's one thing to talk, but they go, hey, God gave us one mouth and two ears, so actually we should probably use this one more because he gave him more of us, right? So we got to listen so we can talk and listen. Anyone else? Smile. Welcome to the cafeteria. Hope you had a great day. How's your weekend? Like, Frank, I use those words. No, they're actually watching our body language. We got to smile. The smile invites people over. I mean, I'll say this one right now because we got adults in the room. Anybody remember back in the day, and it might still be today right now, back in the day of the bars and the clubs, and you got that person who smiles? That's the invitation to come over, right? Then you got the people who look like they're working. That's a lawsuit. So our smiles attract people over. Anybody else? What do you think we learned from this game, this activity? Yeah, sharing food, just breaking bread, yeah. I mean, I worked at an office where our boss, his thing was we'd have a point where we try to always do lunch together. That's our one point of quiet space to go and do. And then it evolved to the point of we were actually doing food together, but then we also would break out the crossword puzzle, and everybody in the team had some specialty, sports, history, whatever. And the idea was, could we eat lunch and finish the crossword puzzle before the day was over? We bonded as a team. People were like, man, it's like, people really enjoy working for your group, but that's just something that my boss had set up where it's like, okay, what do we do to know each other outside of work? Not just the work piece, but what are we doing to connect with each other? So that's the challenge for all of you. What are you going to do to be able to help understand each other? I mean, has anybody here had a game and you bring somebody new in, and then even though you don't know this person, you put your arms like, hey, here's my new friend. Let me tell you, because you just started talking and listening to them. So you bring them in. That's what we all have to do, especially for our new people this year. Let's go to our next exercise. I like to call this one Apple. Now, who just said, Jackie's talked about smiling, right? So, who said smile? Sorry? Sylvia. Okay, so you talked about smiling. So what we're going to do this time, everybody, is you kind of came into the room, you're like, oh, no. Have you ever gone to one of those public events? Let's call it a fair, carnival, sports event, movie, anything like that, airport, and you start to walk around, and you think you see somebody you know. Anybody ever had that one? And then you start to stare at them. And then you're still staring at them. And then you get caught in the stare. And what do? We smile, and then we head the other way. I don't want you to do that today. Now, it's going to take a little time because a little tight quarters in here. But what we're going to do is, with our activity called Apple, is I want you to gather your stuff together. You're like, uh-oh. I'm going to have you look around the room. Now, if you look around the room and you find somebody that you don't currently work with or know very well, and they're smiling back at you, you can kind of point at them and be like, hey, we're going to be a couple apples. You're going to be a team, okay? And what you're going to do is just go over and introduce yourself. I want you to just say what your name is. Maybe let them know what your favorite movie is. Let them know what your favorite thing to cook is. And you can ask them where they work. Once you get a group of two together, now you're going to look around the room, and you're going to find two more people. Now, if that two people look back at you and go, leave them alone. That, like I said, that could be that lawsuit. They're not ready to meet new people yet. But find another group and make four. Now, if you want to keep it close by, you can, but I want us to make groups of four. So if it means four just means you turn to the person in the front and back of you, that's fine. But what we're going to do is I will start the music. I want you to find four people. So make a group of four. So make teams of four. But it's got to be some new people. So get ready, get set, let's go. How are you doing? You gotta be at their group, okay? Yeah. That's a smart move because he's played it before. Yep. Hey Elijah, give me my phone. I'll show Mom the picture. Go ahead. You're part of the team. get anybody yet? All right. So this one's going to be fun because they're still talking. They didn't hear the music turn off. Hey, Tucson USD Food Services. I've got a question for all of you. Did anybody hear the music stop? No. Hey, do me a favor really quick. I love what's going on. Everybody, please go have a seat. Have a seat together with your teams. This group's still having fun, look.
That's Jackie. She won't listen to you.
Hey, Miss Jackie. You are having so much fun. I know. So I'm gonna ask, can you have your team sit down? Okay. So really quick, give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, I've got the question. Does anybody remember when the music went off? Nope. Because what were we doing? Talking, right? We were having a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, why didn't we do this when we first came in the room this morning?
Probably wouldn't stop.
So what did we say? I'm sorry. We're set in our ways. Sorry. Yeah, we came with the people that we knew, right? But I love what just happened right now. Humans are social creatures. I said, go meet some new people, gave you permission to go do it. I couldn't shut you up. I mean, you were just talking about COVID earlier, but do you remember back during COVID? Can you believe that's 4 years ago? I mean, there's like before COVID, after COVID. But 4 years ago, do you remember we started doing this thing called social distancing? Yeah. And I don't know how many of you did it here, but I know in my neighborhood, for a while, it's like social distancing, people just like, they didn't talk to each other, didn't connect with people. I mean, the world is like, is it coming to an end? When is a zombie apocalypse going to happen? Because at one point, my wife goes, there's a cow in the front yard. I'm like, cow in the front yard? And literally, there's a cow running down the street, and the police were chasing it. It would show up in the news. Then the next day, my kids go, Dad, there's a chicken in the backyard. Now, we live in the suburbs of Phoenix. So I'm like, okay, there's a chicken in the there's no chicken in the backyard. There were 2 chickens in the backyard, and they were laying eggs. Then all of a sudden, the park caught on fire down the street. I'm like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, one day, there are these food service professionals, along with transportation, who are driving the bus around the neighborhood, opening the bus up and giving away food. They go, hey, we got food for your kids. I'm like, well, we don't go to your school. They're like, doesn't matter. We're going to feed you. That was proof of what you just did right now. We are social creatures. Did you notice that they stopped calling it social distancing and started calling it physical distancing? Because they recognize that people, we love to connect with people. And I said, hey, go ahead and meet 4 people and sit down. I couldn't stop you. I had to pull the microphone out. And like, if I just sat up here, you probably would have gone about another 20 or 30 minutes. But I'm going to let you know, that is a good thing. Because when we make time to connect with people, we show that we value them. So my question for you right now, if you look at the screen, because you valued people, you want to connect with different people here in this room, with these apples on the screen right now, are they the same or different? Oh, we got some debates going on. Okay, hands up if you say they're different. Hands up. Different. Okay, hands up if you say they're the same. Hands up if you said both. Ah. Everybody's correct. But here's what I want you to really understand. We focus too much on what's different about us. And there's never been 2 people on this planet that are ever alike. It's easy to find what's different, but when all of you are going, shaking hands, high-fiving, you're trying to find out what we have in common. And that's what I said. I heard people talking to my son. Do you play sports? What's your favorite movie? What do you like to do? We're trying to find the common ground. With apples, apples are the same and different. They grow all around the world. But the thing that's the same about them is all apples have the same 4 parts. There's a skin, which is the visual attractor that brings you over. So for any of you here who have to pick out the apples and the produce for your kitchens, What do we look for? The one with the what? Shiny outside, right? Doesn't look beat up or bruised. But once we get that one, we have to bite into it. We want it to have a good taste, right? So we have the flesh. So we have the skin and the flesh. If it's really good, we bite down, we find the core. And the core is where the seeds are. And the last part of the apple is the stem. People are the same way. We have a skin. That's the flashy attractor that brings people over. Our smile. Right, Sylvia? Right? But once we have the smile, anybody know those people? They're all smiley and shiny on the outside. But then you get a chance to know them. And it doesn't match up with the outside, does it? Some people call this salespeople. What we're trying to find out is there substance there, correct? And that substance comes from their core, which is their values, who they're connected to, what they're relating to, what their parents, family, leaders put inside of them. And that comes from the stem. You know, it's the smallest part of the apple, it's the connections. They go, most people at work, they want to have at least one solid relationship. That's what keeps them there. When I showed you that screen of me kind of bouncing around, if I didn't have a solid relationship, I tried to find a place where people are also going to want and value and connect with me. All of you just showed that. So what I would like for you to do right now is answer this question for me. What do you do? Right now, you just start to talk to people and learn who they are. But I want to know from all of you right now, what are you doing right now within your life or in your workplace? What are you doing to show people you value them? Anybody? Say thank you. Yes, love saying thank you. Lena, Jackie, thank you.
So if I talk with somebody about whatever it is, I try to follow up on another day. Say, hey, as it progressed, try to remember the conversation.
We follow up with them. It's not just hi one day and then keep moving along. So follow up. Yes, sir.
I tell them directly.
Okay, what do you tell them directly?
Words, I just tell them directly. Without you, I couldn't have done this today.
What's your name, sir?
David.
David. You hear David says? Without you, I couldn't have done this without you today. He's being honest and straight up front. No sugarcoating cookie. I was like, hey, without you, I couldn't do this. Just straight to the point, right? We have to show people we value them. Now, I've got a little QR code up there. This may be a prize in a second. But I got a little book. It's called 52 Ways to Shine because everybody wants to be that shiny apple because apples are recognized for the value and the impact that they can make. We need to let the people around us know that too. So this book here, you can find it online also. But the book actually has 52 different chapters and talks about ways you can have team meetings and group meetings to find out how we value people so they can go out and have an impact. Because when people feel valuable, then they can go out and make an impact. The other thing that happened in COVID was people felt kicked to the curb. And the place that showed that they valued their people, that's when they kept people or attracted more people in. That's what we want for all of you. We need to work together as a team. And to work together as a team, we have to do our next activity, and it's called green. So, with your teams right now that you put together, your groups of 4, did you go back to your original seats, or are you still with your teams? Okay, if you're still with your teams, what we need to do is we need to get a volunteer, and we can go old school. 1, 2, 3, not it. And the last person standing, you're about to be our secretary. Now, with this activity green, as a team, what you're going to do is I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to put a timer on the screen. You've got 1 minute to write down as many food or beverage items that are green. And a team with the highest number will get that book I just showed on the screen. So I've got 4 books for people. But you got to wait for me to start the music. They don't wait. Get ready. Get set. Go. All right, we're down to 40 seconds to go. You're writing down as many food and beverage items that are green. There was an avocado up there earlier, so let's see if we can work. Elijah, you've seen this before. You should be able to help them out. They're down to 30 seconds. 30 seconds. As many items you can think of that come in the color of green. I will not check your spelling. We're down to 10 seconds, everybody. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands up, hands up. All right. Okay, now, what we need to do right now is look at your list. We need to do an internal audit. or inventory, whichever one you want to call it. And what we're going to do is look at your list, make sure there's no doubles, and add up what's on your list and write that number at the top of your list. So go ahead and give you a couple seconds here. Elijah, watch your team there. Make sure they're not trying to add words right now. Okay, now, what we're going to do is I'm going to say a number. If you have that number or more, with some pride, some energy, some passion, go, oh yeah. Who has more than one? Oh yeah. All right, so everybody's in. More than 5? Oh yeah. More than 10? Oh yeah. More than 15? Oh yeah. More than 30? She's like, oh no. More than 20? Okay, here we go. 16? 17? 18? 18 or more? 19? 20? Okay. How many teams have 19? You got 2 teams. Okay. Yeah, right. What's your name, sir? Lawrence. Like, Lawrence is like, he's like, yeah, right. Oh, who's still writing? Everybody. Now we've got the truth coming out right now. So he's like, yeah, right. Most people are going, prove it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick on Sylvia's team first, okay? We're going to read out your list, okay? So when we read out your list, everybody here is going to help be our judges. So if there's something that you say double, then they're going to be back in for the championship. Or if people go, there's no way that could be green, because guess what? I've got a bunch of food and beverage professionals right here in this room. So what we'll do is you read out loud what the item is, and I will count along with you, okay? So go ahead.
Asparagus.
1,
Broccoli.
2,
Cabbage.
3,
Avocado.
4,
Green beans.
5,
Certain apples.
6,
Pears.
7,
Grapes.
8,
Cucumber.
9,
Kiwi.
10,
Celery.
11,
Pistachios.
12,
Peas. Green beans.
13, 14,
Spinach.
15.
You say green beans twice.
Oh, did we say green beans twice? Is it on there twice? Green onions. Okay, 16. No, that'd be 15, right? Go ahead. Where are we at? Got to be able to read it to win.
Brussels sprouts.
Okay. Okay, did you say kale twice? Okay, they all like, Okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to go over here. Can you read what you wrote down? Yes. Okay, so where's your team of 4? We'll see what we can do. So we're going to come back over this way. I like it right here. Who's my man right here in the black t-shirt? What's your name, sir? Ronnie. Ronnie's like, no. Isn't it funny right now? With this game, all of a sudden we've gotten very competitive, haven't we? A lot of groups say, well, you know what, we don't want to be competitive. No, we want to be competitive to make sure that we're having high standards. So Ronnie, thanks for making sure we got high standards, okay? Okay, so we're going to go to the back here. That's Donald. Is that David? Okay, David's team. So who's going to read for your team, David? Glenda. So Glenda, read out loud. Help me out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Hey, everybody, big round of applause for your green champion. Hold on. They Googled. Look at that. There we go. Okay. So I'm sensing some conversation here. As I said, games create conversation. So anybody, honest feedback. What did we learn, or what's your input about this activity? Go ahead, be honest with me. Okay, we think people are cheaters. I think we should have done Google. I didn't give time to add. Anybody else? I need the feedback. That's how I get better. Yes?
I felt that if we didn't eat it,
Yeah.
Like if we didn't eat it or liked it,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even think about it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So the exposure. Anybody else? If we didn't eat it, we weren't going to write it down. Anybody else? We're also networking. Because if we don't have the exposure to things that we don't eat and drink, okay, because people were probably going like, what was that thing that she said earlier? It's like, hey, that's the cactus petals, right? Anybody ever had that in a soup or like in a taco? I mean, we're starting to learn, right? What we're trying to show is many times we try to do everything ourselves, but we fail to collaborate and work with other people. With games, many times we're not doing it by ourselves. When we surround ourselves with other like-minded people, people who want to work together, we're not going to limit ourselves mentally. Does anybody ever have that one where we limit ourselves mentally? Because where our mind goes, our body follows. No one ever goes to a game and goes, I'm going to screw this game up. I'm going to suck at this game. I'm just going to do it on purpose. I mean, where are my people who played tag growing up? Yeah, we don't hold ourselves back mentally in that game, right? I come over to tag you right here. What's your name? Celia. I come to tag you. What do you say? Don't hit me. Yeah, I don't want to hit you. But what else? If you've played tag, what happens? You either run. I'm not it. Base. Timeout. Invisible force field. We're always thinking of ways to win, correct? Now that you've played this exercise, the big thing I tell people is like, with games and exercises, we are never going to be perfect, but we can always work to get better. We all cook, right? Is that meal ever perfect? We're always refining, trying to get better, right? I mean, I can say this because with my last name being Kitchen, I took 3 years of culinary. Can you imagine the day I walked into the class and go, yeah, Frank Kitchen. Teacher's like, what? Like, tell me your name. I'm like, Frank Kitchen. Like, and the room was full of athletes, so she thought it was just people playing jokes. So she went down to things like, oh, Mr. Kitchen, have a seat. But the thing is, everyone, with this activity, how many people think we came back and played it again, we'd get a higher number? Because now we start thinking about other foods, right? With this activity, the funny thing about adults is, as adults, they keep telling us to grow up. And as we grow up, we lose that creative side. Kids are super creative. When I do this activity with youth groups, they're always 30 or higher. Because they just start thinking of unlimited things. They're not trying to hold themselves back. And people are like, well, you can't do that. I had one kid goes, guess what? I'm like, what? Infinity. I'm like, infinity. He goes, yeah. He's like, you can dye any food green. Wow. Prize. So the big piece is for you, when you go back to your workplaces, don't limit yourself mentally. Because our mental barriers become physical barriers. In a game, we're always trying to just get better. Even if we mess up, we come back and get better. How many people here have ever made the popcorn? Mm-hmm. And what happens to the new people? New people always do what? Burn the popcorn. But eventually the person who can make the popcorn, you're like, man, you're good. And you're like, well, no, you don't know how many times I burnt the popcorn. And we know when you burn it, when you walked away, it's like you're just going away for a second, and that little Instapack that you put in there, and then it just burns onto the bottom, it has that black stuff, you're trying to soak it all day, and like, how do you take this apart? How do you put it back together? But the thing was, you're like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep getting better at this, and eventually, when you break through those mental barriers, great things happen. So because all of you do that on a day-to-day basis, look at somebody right now and just give them a high five and just say, you do amazing work. Yeah. Uh-oh. Wait. No. I'm going to pick on you. Come here. Come on down. What's your name? What's your name? Carol, come on down. Woo! Come on. Right here, Carol. And she's cleaning up, too.
You had them smashed.
Did I
You've
step?
been in the kitchen?
We got to teach those kitchens. Yeah, we got to watch that.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know. Some of you gave a high five, went back down. Okay. Then I had Carol here. Carol made it into an Oprah moment. She's like, you get a high five. You get a high five. And she's getting it felt good, didn't it?
Those are my guys.
Those are your guys.
They need,
Right. It feels good, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to give you a high five. I'm going to let you go back to your spot because we're going to learn from Carol right now. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Carol. Hold on. No, it's not it. So I've got my buddy. Woo! He does different shirts. So his name is Candyman, so he's got a USA shirt there.
Man, okay,
Yeah.
let me help you.
Or he's got, I think this one is just like splatter like that. I'll explain that one later, but he gave me some shirts to give away.
That looks kind of small for me.
Okay.
Wait, let me see.
No high five.
I know, Jackie.
They said that one. All right, you got her shirt. Woo! Now, we're about to learn from her. Because when I said go high five somebody, anybody, how'd that high five feel? Felt good, right? And it was just a high five. We didn't even give a prize out. You're just like, I want a high five. I say let's turn this into an activity or an exercise. She went and high fived 35 people. But I'm going to ask you the question right now. If I ask everybody in this room right now to stand up, okay? Now, I understand there's some people who have some physical, just limitations today. So if you have anything, you can still sit in your chair. We're going to modify. But if I ask everybody in this room to high five 5 different people and then sit back down somewhere in the room, how long do you think it would take all 120 of us? What'd you say? 1 second. I like that one. Talk about positive. I know which way your pig was facing. Yep. Okay. This group over here is like looking at us like 1 second. No. What's the conversation over here? How long?
12:40. We'll be done.
12:40? Right. Now, is that 12:40 or is that because there's like the 5 to 7 minute window by the time clock where it's like 12:36? Anybody? So I have 1 second. Anybody else? 10 minutes. Okay, we got some dichotomy there. 20 seconds. One more time, your name, sir? Steven. So Steven says 20 seconds. That sounds realistic. Anybody else? 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 seconds. What'd you say, Dave? You hear 1 minute? Okay, he's hearing 1 minute. So I'm going to go with what you said, 1 minute. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a clock up on the screen. Rápido. Okay, what we're going to do is, I'm going to ask everybody right now who is able, please stand up. Everybody, please stand up. Yeah. Okay, now, if there's anybody in the room right now where it's easier to sit, please go ahead and sit for a few of the people. Hold on. Now, for the people who are sitting, I'm just going to have you put your hand up in the air. Make the people come to you. Now, when I say ready, set, go, you're going to high five 5 different people, and then you're going to sit down. When the last person sits down, I will stop the clock. The goal is 1 minute. So, Tempe, oh, I just got in trouble, wrong team. My son was asking me about that the other day. Tucson Unified School District Food Service. Are you ready? Get set and go.
You count, right?
I count. All right, we got to sit down. We got to sit down. Miss 1 second. Miss 1 second. Find a spot. Got to go sit. Uh-oh. Come on, Carol. You got to find your spot. You're standing up. You got to sit down. Yeah, not there. Sit down somewhere in the room. There you go. Yeah, not on the lap. That's a lawsuit. Boom. Okay. Now we got to have some debrief right now. You see the time on the clock. It says 36 seconds. Where are my competitive people in the room? What are you thinking right now? We can do it faster, right? Yeah. Steve's over here going 20 seconds. That's possible because guess what? I saw people go over to Marna and they go, no, downtown Tucson. Nope. I'm going to go down to Nogales. Nope. And like going all over the place. I said you could sit down anywhere in the room. Some people were like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. This one's not right. I don't know about this one. Hey, oh, I can't high five you. So, question for you right now. Food service, Tucson Unified School District. Should we try to beat 20? Because I think you can. We'll try it again with Will. So here's the case. I'll let you stand up this time. I'll let you have some conversations on how you want to plan it out. You like to talk with each other. I know you can beat 20 seconds. You thought it was kind of crazy because I had 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and you saw you just did 36 seconds. I'm going to reset the clock. So everybody, please stand up. Yep. I know. I love it. Doug's like, he's like, how about the people nearest you? Because some people are like, no, I'm going to go way over there. I'll let you have some conversation, but I know you can beat 20. Okay? So let me find out right now. Tucson Unified School District School Food Services. Are you ready? Get set and go. Sit. She's like, good. Go. Almost down. Get her a chair. Down. Yes. I love it. They wouldn't give her a chair. She's like, I'm trying to get through. And then what's your name here in the green? Connie. Connie was like this. Sit. She was like coaching and modeling how it works out. Okay, but everybody, look around the room right now. We're smiling. We're laughing. We are winded. Take some water right now. But here's the deal. With games, we get competitive. Like we just beat Steve's number. Are you happy, Steve? No. Steve wants to go higher now. But Steve, if I went one more time, I'd probably kill people.
We were at 22 seconds, but Carol ruined it.
It's on. Okay, 12:40. This stops. 12:41. Steve Carroll parking lot. Let's go. But as I said earlier, everybody, whether you call it games or mindset flipping exercises, they are visual learning exercises where now you have an experience or like a visual point of like, hey, you know what? We can do more. We can also push each other without putting each other down. Because when we play games, when someone screws up in a game, do we go, hey, you suck? We go, hey, you know what? I've been there before. Here's how you get better. Here's how you can go and do it. If someone doesn't do good, do we walk away from them? I had people going, hey, you can sit here, get down right there. He said on the floor, nope, don't sit in the lap. That's a lawsuit. You start to coach each other to work your way through. And coaching yourselves, working together, you beat the number. I didn't even offer a prize. There's just an internal satisfaction of beating that number. This is also proof that whatever happens to you this upcoming year, if you put your mind to it, it can happen. Because you didn't limit yourselves mentally here. Okay? You're also celebrating this victory. Because we're in a world right now, we're quick to criticize people, but we're slow to recognize them, aren't we? And something as simple as a high five can make people's day. Some of you wanted Carol to come over and give you a high five. I saw her running down. Some people moved out of their chair to put their hand out just to get that high five. It means a lot. So my question for you, with your teams, help us out here. We're here to help each other. I don't know everything. I'll never claim to know everything. But I know that we can share and collaborate together to get better. What are you doing to celebrate victories with your teams? Anybody? Sorry? 501. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we can talk about it. I'm not going to be afraid to talk about money. Some people talk about money, but I don't want to cause any trouble here.
I took my team players out to breakfast.
He took his team players out to breakfast. Okay. Anybody else? What can you do to celebrate the victories for your team? What do you do to keep them going? Lena? Take them to happy hour. Okay. We're adults. It's fine. Anyone else? Sorry? Donuts. Yeah. A lunch. I want to show this with you right now. And if anything pops out, ask me the question. you are brilliant people. You don't need me to come here and tell you what to do. I'm just here to kind of remind you and energize you. Here's some answers when I go around the country to ask people, oh, you don't want that clock, what some victory rewards can be. It doesn't take much to celebrate, but many times we will tell people when they're doing something bad right then and there, but we'll wait till 6 months or a year for the review to tell them that they're doing a good job. And that by that point, they're like, hey, you know what? I'm not valued. I'm not wanted here. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to leave and find a place where I am valued. Because when we have a game, if somebody does something really good the first time, high five. You're getting better. You're doing good. And that encourages the people to stay involved in the game because we don't want them to leave and quit. Now, if you look at the screen right now, is there anything that jumps out to you? Anybody? You have either a question about or you've done before?
Car ride. Yeah.
Car ride, yeah. I mean, how many people a car ride would help out for some of your teammates, employees, because they have to be on the bus line or need a bus? Yeah. So could you put together a carpool group to get people to work? Would that make a big difference for people? Yeah, it doesn't take much, does it? Anybody else? Anything else jump out? Yes.
Well, I always tell my
Yeah.
the people working with me, like, it's not just me. We are a team, and we have to work like a team.
Yeah.
It's gonna be better.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do.
We got to work as a team.
I would say thank you.
Yeah, and your name one more time? Sorry?
Leticia.
Leticia. Okay. And Lena?
I like to try and do the cards and personal gifts.
Yep. The cards, personal gifts, just the birthday, people know it's going to be and do. But if you look at the green there, I love it. It says, offer help and support. Now for me, I could talk this game to you about you got to offer support, reward people, go and do. But the question is, are you practicing what you preach or the advice that you give? Are you taking your own advice? For me, when I'm not speaking, I try to volunteer and help as much as possible. And one of the greatest joys for me is my kids, I help volunteer and coach their sports teams. And one of the big deals is I like doing baseball and softball. So last year, my son, you've met Elijah, he got promoted up to kid pitch. And we like to call him or nickname him Walk This Way. Because Elijah, I'm going to embarrass you right now. Elijah's got an 800 on-base percentage and a 0 batting average. Because as tall as he is when he gets up there, the kids are afraid, and like he gets these kids to throw like 8 pitches, 9 pitches in the dirt all over the place, and then he walks. And then he scores. So last year, we're down in a game. We're down by about 8 or 9 runs. We told the kids, then kids knew the game was over. I'm like, hey, you can't give up. You know, let's just keep going. Let's make this the best inning ever. Let's at least get 5 runs and show this team that we're not afraid of them. So like, okay. So what we do is we get to this point here, and Elijah comes up to bat. Bases are loaded. He has never gotten a hit before. The game is about to end for time. I'm supposed to be coaching first base, but it's hard to coach and be dad at the same time. This is what happened.
Look for your pitch, Elijah. Go, Elijah, go, go, go.
Coach, dad. So that was Elijah getting his first hit. Now the thing was, for many of us, we always try to find joy and satisfaction in ourselves, but in games, have you ever had a game where you find more joy when the person that you've been teaching, they get a chance to win and experience that joy also? That was my best moment showing this picture. Like he's laughing because he didn't know that was in the slides until he saw it in a hotel last night. He's like, you're putting that in? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I've been showing that one for a while. So my question is, what are you doing to show that you care? When we talk about rewarding people, rewarding is just showing that you care about people. You've got to be that person to show that you care. Because I tell people this one, positive cultures produce productive people. For the last hour plus here, I've been showing you what a positive culture looks like. Because culture is both a noun and a verb. Now the verb, when it talks about it, it's an action. It's to maintain conditions suitable for growth. But the noun is a set of shared attitudes, goals, or beliefs that represent your organization or institution. Today I had 3 goals for you. Does anybody remember what those goals were? Rule number 1 or goal number 1 is to do what? Have? Fun. Did we have fun? Yeah. Rule number 2 is to do what? Meet some. Someone said run. Learn. Thank you. So learn, but we said to what? Meet. And if we meet new people, then we're learning. And the third one is know what?
Lawsuit.
Yeah, because I don't want to kill anybody, and we haven't killed anybody. That's what this program is about today, everybody, is what is your culture? Now, I don't have to go over these, but these are your goals for the year. Now, I didn't tell you how you have to hit these goals, but they're saying this is what the goal is. In a game, they'll tell you what the goal of the game is, but they don't tell you how you have to do it. They go, what are you doing to get there? That is up to you. Think about it. There's food items that we make. When we make it, there's different recipes to get. I mean, how many different recipes for pizza are there? How many different recipes for chicken are there? Or there's different ways of just saying, hey, we just got to go make it. What I'm going to ask you today is, what are you doing to fire up your team? And I didn't say, what is the supervisor or the manager or the shift person doing? I said, what are you doing? For me, every year, and if you ever want to come up, it always happens on New Year's Eve. We do a thing, it's called the I Live Fresh hike in Phoenix, Arizona. I find one of the mountain paths, and there's actually a gentleman who does it now here in Tucson. He picked up off of it. And I say, hey, you know what, everybody? I want everybody to fire up their upcoming year. I was like, so instead of waiting for New Year's Day, come meet me and my family at this mountain pass, and we're going to climb to the top of the mountain to end our year on a literal high note. Now, when you go to the top of any mountain, what do you need to do when you get to the top of the mountain? You got to plant a what? Flag. So we give everybody flags, no cost. And they can write down their dreams and goals for the year. And when they get up there, they plant the flag and they take a picture. I'm like, put it somewhere where you can see it. And then the ultimate reward is the experience of meeting other people like them. I've watched business deals go down, friendships start up, connections go. But when they come down at the bottom of the hill, then Elijah and his sister Olivia, who you just saw up on the screen, they run a raffle. And everybody who shows up, they didn't know it, they get a prize. Every year the hike keeps growing. Every year we go up with one group of people and more people jump on because people on the hike are like, hey, here's what we're doing. So I got to make sure I bring extra prizes. When I say prizes, we've had vacations to Vegas, hotels, shoes, clothing, crazy amount of stuff that gets donated, basically asking my clients, hey, can you donate for this? That's what I do. It doesn't cost people a thing. All they have to do is show up. So for you, what's something that you can do to fire up the performance of your team? And what I want to do today is I want to give you my recipe. And with any recipe, it can be modified. You can take the pictures of the screen, or you can write it down. But here's the recipe. And you've seen it here for the last hour, hour and a half. Here's how it works out. Step one, I need you to have a game mindset. And whose phone? I can talk to that person for you. I can call you out. They're sick right now. Yep, 20 bucks. But when I say a game mindset, everybody, when we play games, we're always focused on the solution, right? We're not focused on the problem. It's what the solution is. As humans, we love to complain and blame, but it's easy to point out the problem, but special people, amazing people, point out the solution. So I need for all of you to have a game mindset and always think about, what's the solution? How do we win? How do we get better at this? When we just did the whole high five piece, all of you started to figure out, you can just sit on the floor. Sit, 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 sit. Sit here. He didn't say go all the way back over there. You're focused on the solution. Now from there, clear and consistent communication. I believe we talked about it earlier. We said we have to talk, right? We have to listen. That's communication. If I was up here not clearly communicating with you, I would have killed somebody. I had to clearly communicate. And communication, it's not just what we say, it's our body language. It's our tone. It's our actions. If I go, who wants to have fun today? What's wrong with him? But on the flip side, hey, who's ready to have some fun? You're like, okay, drug test. But in our world where we're always just doing text and emails, humans are visual. We want to read the emotion to get an understanding. You can learn from your kids right now that you work with on a day-to-day basis. Are they always sending text messages? No, they're sending video. They're trying to, for us as adults, we like to meet in person. It's one thing to text and say, hey, happy birthday. It's another to come see the person right up front and go, hey, happy birthday. Or to send a video or have a group. Speaking of that, anybody got any birthdays coming up here in the room? Who, Jackie? Uh-oh. When's the date? When's the date? The 30th. What's the social security number? Okay, well, do me a favor. Do you have your phone? Do you have your phone? Do I? Yeah. Yes. Okay, pull your phone out. Okay, just going to show everybody, here's how we can do something. When we talk about communicating, it's through our body language and our actions, not our words. Okay, turn on the camera. Okay, okay, put on the video part of the camera. Put it on selfie so you got Jackie's face. And then start it. And on the count of three, everybody, let's give Jackie a nice little happy birthday song. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jackie. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. That's communication, everybody. It's everything, not just a set of words. So what are we communicating to the people that we're working with to show that we care, that we value, and to make sure that they can fire up their performance and they can succeed? Now from there, we got to have inclusion. Yes, Jackie?
I haven't had anybody say happy birthday to me for
Come here, come here.
I'm going to be 65.
Congratulations. Jackie just told me she's turning 16. But then, we'll hold on for that one, because someone's like, give Jackie a birthday gift, so we'll see if we can do. Yes. My shoe's untied. Okay, thank you. She's like, don't hurt yourself. Lawsuit. I signed the waiver, so Lindsay's safe. Okay, but when I say inclusion, you hear about diversity, equity, inclusion. I like to simplify it. I used to be a diversity director at a college. And people are like, well, what's diversity? I'm like, diversity, we can see the diversity in the room. We've got difference. Like, where are my first-year people here in the room? Any first-year people, first-year in positions? Okay, anybody doing right now anywhere from 5 to 10 years you've been here? Where are my 10 to 20 people? Where are my 20 to life? There's already diversity in the room as far as experiences and knowledge. Did you say 43? 34 years, yeah. There's a lot of different experience in this room. So what we have to do is in the games, I didn't say, oh, are you first year? Are you 34 years? You know, what school? What is it Title I? I didn't care about that. I just cared about, hey, do you want to have fun, meet some new people, and learn together? You said yes. So when we talk about inclusion, it's like, who gets to play in the game? We even modified some of the games. That's all people want to do. When we say inclusion, people want to be included, which means we want to be valued. So if you ask for feedback or input, value it, listen to it. And if it's really good, then go out and apply it. Even with my programs, I've got my son who's 11 years old. He's like, hey, Dad, have you tried this? He feels valued when I listen and apply that to the games. He helped me know which slides to put in and pull out. Teamwork. Could you imagine if I did this whole program by myself like most speakers? You're like, what's wrong with him? But the only reason today was great, everybody, is because we all work together. All of you are a piece of the puzzle. Because a team is a group of specialists working together to transform that vision into reality. And as you look around the room, I talked about diversity. Look at all different people that you have here who makes this work. I mean, many of you see your titles up there, correct? How many people didn't know there's this many different types of positions within food services? Some of those are surprising you, right? Everybody is a piece of the puzzle. When I shared about apples earlier, apples we said are different and the same. But the unique thing about an apple is there's all these different varieties of apples, but everyone has a specialty. Some apples are good for juice, some are good for turnovers and pie, some are good to eat raw, some are good for martinis on happy hour night. But the thing is, we have to stop trying to compare ourselves to other people and start thinking about what are we good at? And how do I bring that part to the puzzle? And then from there, we got to have effective leadership. And when I say leadership, I got to let you know right now, it says leadership is action, not title. Maybe you think that leadership is title. It's like, you know what? Lindsay's got to do it. Does she do all the work? It's the action. During the games right now, a lot of you became leaders. A lot of you start to energize people. A lot of you start to educate people. Here's how you do it. Here's how you draw the pig. A lot of you start to just, empower. You can go out and do it. But we all had a dream today. Some of you wanted to get a prize. Which leads me to this. Let's give away one more prize. Let's make it fun. I tell people leaders have to live fresh. Which means leaders, they got to be focused. A lot of you are focused on the games today. A lot of you got to be resourceful. Some of you call it cheating. You got to be enthusiastic because guess what? No one really wants to do the work, but what happens is with our mindset has to be to a point of the excitement, okay, of the result has to be stronger than the excitement of the work because there's no excitement in work because work is hard. but we'll do that work if we know the result. We got to stay strong mentally. We can't give up. And then we just got to be honest with ourselves. We have to be willing to ask for help. Now, when you see the word fresh, because you work in food service, is that a positive term or a negative term? Positive, right? Anybody, what are you thinking about? When I say fresh, what are you thinking about? Fruits and vegetables, all right. Good answer for this group. Anyone else?
Something new.
Something new. Wanted, exciting, right? Your name?
Anna.
Anna? Thank you, Anna. Yeah, it's, right. Sorry? People's behavior, just a fresh behavior, yeah. So I tell you, when we think about something, that makes us smile, but we're not remembered like in a game. We can't just think about it, right? We can't just talk about it. We got to live it. So on the count of 3, thinking about something fresh in your life, I'm going to make you smile. So think about that fresh thing in your life, fresh new paycheck, fresh smell in your car, fresh bakery, anything like that. I want you to say fresh, just go 1, 2, 3, fresh, but with a smile on your face like you're experiencing it right now. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Fresh. Yeah, you see the smiles? Did you hear the troublemakers? I said to go fresh. Then I had 2 or 3 over here go fresh. So here's our game, our activity right now, our mindset flipping exercise to knock off our day here and finish it up. I tell people it's not about what we think, it's not about what we say. We're remembered and impact people's lives as leaders by what we do. And all of you are leaders. I love to call you leaders and educators because I know there's people outside the rooms like, oh, they just work over in food services. But let's be honest. On many days, who has more contact time with the kids? Yep. Who knows more about these kids because you met their brothers, sisters, siblings, and parents and even work with some of them? Mm-hmm. How many people know what these kids' dietary restrictions or diets are, right? I mean, that is you. There's a study that said 52% of what happens in schools happens outside the classroom. That means they're working with people like you. So you are leaders also. The kids will come and ask you questions because they look up to you. You have the conversations with them. They trust you. You have to live that day to day. So what we're going to do right now is I want you to see how this works out, especially the school year coming up. It's going to be a long school year just because we know. There's this, when I say long school year, no. When I say long school year, that's fresh. When I say long school year, is it 1 week? A school year is a marathon, right? Yeah. It's not just a one-day thing. We have to do it over and over again. We have to work at it. We have to be good at it every day, just like games. You have to keep coming back and keep getting better and better. So this time, when I say fresh, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, fresh, I want you to go fresh for as long as possible. And for my competitive people, the person who goes the longest, I will give you a prize. You will get the Starbucks cup, 2 Starbucks $5 gift cards to fill 1 cup. And I've got a book here. It's called Fresh from the Kitchen, 44 Tasty Techniques to Cook Up the Professional Dreams You Hunger For. So the book on how I just, got to where I am here in front of you today, everything is right there for you. So that will be for you. So you've got the book, something to drink and read and enjoy, or even share it with your team. So that's going to be for the person. And everybody who's got a book today, please see me so I can sign and personalize it for you. Now, in order for this to work, here's what we have to do. Number 1, I got to make sure we police ourselves and we understand that people are actually doing it. So you'll have to have your hand up. And you keep your hand up as long as you're saying fresh in one continuous fresh. Number 2, anybody ever been in choir? I know about all of you. I've been in choir too. And you're in the back of the room and you look like you're singing, but you're not. So if you're going, that doesn't count. Where are the people who like to play jokes? Want to cause trouble, Doug? If I start seeing you going, that doesn't count either. And then the last one. Who here works down the central office as like HR and stuff like that? Where are you? Just get this on camera. Okay, I'm going to explain this one to you right now. As of February 28th, 2022, I am no longer CPR certified. So if you start turning school district colors, everybody, please let it go. Because I don't want to kill anybody. So right now, take a deep breath, get some water. Let's see who can go the longest, okay? So ready? 1, hands up. 2, 3, fresh. Okay, Elijah, hold on. They said no nepotism, so we'll take care of you later. And for the young lady in the back, your name, please? Michelle. Everybody, big round of applause for Michelle. Go ahead, Elijah. So one quick thing here before we get out of here. With that last activity, with Fresh, Michelle, got to ask. Sing, swim, run, yoga, what do you do? Musician?
No, I just did it really slow.
She did it really slow. And I love that. I'm going to answer this question here in a second, but for all of you, really quick, let's go back. What did you learn from that activity? Sorry? You learned what? Yeah, Helen's a smoker. Okay. All right. So it was tough there. Anybody else? We're here to learn personal things about people too, right? We got some connections. Yes.
It was almost like you just kind of relaxed.
You relaxed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we might have to do some points where there's days where there's things that we want to say out there on the front line and we need to go in the back and be fresh, right? But here's the big one. And as you said, I misspoke when I said, hey, long year. But what I was saying is, many times our goals are long-term goals. And for many of us, because we're so competitive, we want things, this is the beginning of the school year, right? And you know, especially for the new people come in, we're going to do this and do that and do this. And by the first week, they burn themselves out. Then you get some people who start to pace themselves, and that's December. But then in the back, we have the people go a little bit slower and say, hey, you know what? You got to pace yourself. It's August. We got to get to May. And they go, yeah, what's your feedback?
I'm a farmer smoker too.
Okay. So she's just saying, hey, there's hope. So she's got a training program that's going to start. Yeah, that's your fresh. Right. And everybody's going to be seeing her all year going, shh. But here's the ultimate one, everybody. I want you to have this fresh school year, but I don't want you to be fresh just here today. I want you to bring this all through the year. And everything I've shared with you today, don't just do it for yourself. Also teach it to others, because you work in food service, and we can let people know, we understand this. No cook ever finds joy in just serving themselves, right? We get joy and satisfaction of watching the smiles on other people's faces and that fresh thing that we prepare for them. So to help you with that, if you pull your phones out right now, I'll get a little music going on right now. There's a QR code. Whoops. When you take that QR code, I need feedback. Please answer the questions on there. Once you answer the questions, all the notes from today plus activities, mindset flipping exercises, you'll get those. Plus, you'll get a little workbook that's called Flip Your Mindset, 30 activities to fire up you and your team's performance. So you're going to actually get that workbook. That's the thank you for everybody here doing fresh. And then for the people who say, treat me like an adult, even though you act like kids, and you want a prize for today, I got a bag full of stickers. So I'm going to wait for the phones to go down. If the QR code's not working, the website's right there. Just type in the password play. And if that doesn't work, sorry. No quotations. The code is PLAY, P-L-A-Y. If it's not working, I'm going to email all the notes to Lindsay here shortly, and she can send out to everybody later today. Does that work for everybody? Okay. Okay. Screen change. We'll bring it back. Go back, go back, go back. So while they're getting that over there, I just want to say, everyone, I've had an amazing time working with all of you today. I'm watching the smiles on your faces. Please go out and continue to do the amazing work that you do. But recognize the amazing work you do is just not impacting your life. It's impacting the lives of the people that you work with. And one of the reasons I'm here today, I want to share this quote with you. This is from one of my mentors and friends, which is kind of fun. We've known each other for over 30 years, and he actually showed up to one of my conferences last year. We didn't know we were going to be there, and we happened to connect. But his name is Jim Pullen, and he goes, I don't want to be judged by the sales that I make. I want to be judged by the people I promote. He was one of my managers, and he trained me and taught me different training games. And the idea was, he goes, hey, I don't want to just be judged by my results. He's like, I want to be judged by the people I promote. So we were working at a toy store together. He goes, everybody here will become a manager. We're like, man, you're crazy. That's like the whole comment about 1 second. Everybody in that group got their own store. We were cashiers. Everybody got their own store as a manager or a trainer, except for one. And that person, she chose, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a mom and raise my kids. But she got offered a job too. So for all of you, I really want you to think today is, what are you doing to help people flip their mindset, fire up their performance, and cook up amazing results? Don't just do it for yourself. Make sure you go out there and do it for others. This is that code again, so if you need to go ahead and do it. But other than that, everybody, thank you so much, and have an amazing day.